Well, good morning and welcome back to 30 Days Creative. It is the 16th of November and it's been at least 12 hours since I've sneezed. Things are looking up. Definitely was a kind of a coldy type thing, but as is quite often the case with me, they move through pretty quickly. So fingers crossed we're good. It is just before 7 a.m. I'm pretty sure it's dark and dank and mizzly outside, and I think we are due some pretty significant rain over the course of the morning. So it might be a case of hunkering down in a coffee shop somewhere in Dunfanaghy, but I certainly don't think we're going to get any sunrise colour. This is all about the reality of it, isn't it? So I'm going to whack that heating up a notch or two, enjoy my coffee. And I might actually work on a little bit of my newsletter this morning. I was talking about ways I find to sort of keep my creativity sort of flowing. And this is one thing I was going to talk about in Friday's vlog, but obviously that didn't work out. And one of the main things I try to do is create before I consume. Would you believe it? I'm going to sneeze. Hang on a minute. And what I mean there is do something creative before I consider consuming any type of media. Now, as I've said before, that job was made a little bit easier over the last couple of months, having removed myself from Twitter and from Facebook, or from Instagram, sorry. Still on Facebook. But yeah, I try to get 30 minutes of doing something creative. It could be out vlogging, it could be doing some editing, or it could be sort of writing some content for my newsletter or something or other, before I consume anything, be that emails, be that news, be that anything. And I think it does help. Well, it certainly helps me to just try to get that little bit of creativity in first thing in the morning before I consider consuming any other type of media. So, right. Also going to consume some coffee, but we'll catch up in a little bit when we can see what the conditions are going to be like. But I think we're in for some heavy rain over the next few hours. See you in a bit. Coffee time. Well, good morning again. And actually, look at that there, I'm still crying. But I'm not, and these are now tears of happiness. If you watched yesterday's vlog, you will see that I lost my little LED light. Well, actually, turns out it had fallen off in the van. So I found it when I went back. So I can do all this kind of stuff now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Too early in the morning for that nonsense. Oh, goodness me, he's fallen down a hole. We can even go disco, disco, disco. We are due some heavy rain in the not too distant future, according to yon weather people. So, getting out and about. I guess it's about, I have no idea what time it is. But down on the little beach. And in fact, I'm going to stop walking here because there's some lovely patterns. I remember this from last time. There were some absolutely stunning patterns down here. Did get some nice, better light the last time I was here. I'll throw up a couple of images from that trip then. But I'm going to wander along the little foreshore here with all the kelp. Try to stay off the main bit of sand for now. You know, it's... What do I say? We just need a wee gap. Just a wee gap. Right, let's go for an early morning dilly dander. Oh, these patterns are lovely. Guys, we are getting a wee bit, I'm probably not going to be able to make this out, but we're getting a wee bit of colour up in the sky. Oh, was not expecting this. It's got a very Hebridean feel to the place. So what I might do is, I'm going to sort of forgo some of the beach patterns, which are beautiful, by the way. Absolutely stunning. This place is cracking on a low tide. And get out a little bit more towards the... Oh, big old gnarly... You're probably not going to see that, but I'll be coming back for you at some point, Mr. Rock. Right, well, let's see whether we can find something that piques our interest along this boulder-strewn foreshore. And maybe we'll get just a little bit of light. Right, I'm going to put you away and try to see whether we can find something. Let's do that thing. So I've got a composition set up here that, no great shakes really, just trying to make most use of the lovely patterns in the sand and sort of those lovely rocks. Now, the light kind of developed a little bit. There's a little tiny bit of pink glow in the sky, but no great shakes. But it has a real Hebridean feel to the morning. It really does. So yeah, just camera in a portrait orientation. Again, just it's mostly about the patterns in the rocks, and obviously that tide's on its way back in again now. And we might be able to get a little bit of moving water around some of these rocks, but it's just a wee bonus because I honestly thought it's sort of 6:30 this morning and we were just in for rain, but get a wee bonus journey out. Does make me want to go back to the Outer Hebrides, mind you. I'll throw an image up and we'll carry on looking for something that piques our interest. So I brought myself a little bit closer to the water's edge and I've come across these, trying not to sort of step on them, these lovely beach patterns now. And I've got the camera set up in a portrait orientation with the beach patterns kind of hopefully pulling the eye in. However, I really think that I want to try to take a picture of them the other way around, just these beach patterns. But I know if I step in there, my footprint's going to be in there, it's going to be ruined. So it's kind of one of those situations where the sort of bigger, while we've still got some lovely light in the sky, maybe I carry on shooting the slightly wider scene, and then as that tide comes in and maybe we lose a little bit of that light, maybe just focus on a little bit of an intimate scene here. But the beach patterns are beautiful, absolutely stunning. Ooh. That looks like it's going to be dark and dingy weather coming in, but it's lovely. In fact, right now what I'm seeing is on the bottom of the frame I've got this lovely curve formed by the beach patterns, and it's almost being mimicked by the curve up in the sky. So now that I've kind of noticed that, I'll probably fine-tune my image a little bit because I haven't got a huge amount of that curve in the sky in there. So that kind of counterbalance between a lovely curve and then another lovely curve up in the sky. So let's see whether we can fine-tune the composition and accentuate the curves. Well, I just felt the first drops of rain. We've definitely lost any sort of early morning sort of colour, but just using these again, just playing about with the patterns on the sand. I mean, why wouldn't you? Look at them, they're absolutely beautiful. Really dark, foreboding, moody sky as well. And it's reasonably evenly lit, so I'm not having to do any kind of bracketing or anything. I've thrown on a 4-stop filter just to smooth out a bit of the waves a little bit, but it's mainly about these patterns on the beach. Just beautiful. But I think over the next probably 10-15 minutes, that really steely blue colour, we're probably going to lose it as that kind of, well, it's difficult to tell because where the sun is, it's not as heavy cloud, still cloudier than it was. And over here obviously is where the rain is moving in from the west, moving in from the Atlantic. Also moving in later on today and tonight, some pretty strong winds, so going to be buffeted about in the van. But which is just parked up behind me here. So I'm not sure how much more photography we're going to get done this morning, but this little bonus morning out. Right, I'm going to carry on seeing whether I can get at least one more shot, and then it might be coffee time before the rain hits. and here comes the rain. But we're going to have one last wee attempt at an image, and it's an image actually of a much more intimate scene just in below me here. As I was walking kind of back to the van, I was just sort of noticed one of the bits of kelp that just reminded me of a kind of almost like a sea snake or a snake moving through the waves. So got the camera set up in a portrait orientation. I've got my legs splayed wide, sounds painful, and we're looking to just see whether we can make a little intimate scene there. Now there's absolutely no light. That rain is coming in thick and fast, and it's really not giving us any type of light to work with, but I really wanted to make at least one image of these little intimate scenes. Now I'm probably going to be in this area for the next couple of days, whether exactly here or not, but I'd like to get back down under this beach again and actually focus this time on just those little intimate scenes. I think I got a little bit waylaid by sort of the grander vista, but with that light now fast disappearing and the rain coming on, albeit just light at the moment, I think it's time to get back to the van and throw on a coffee, and then we may drive on somewhere and see whether we can, well, maybe just find more coffee. An update on the sneezing. I think I've sneezed 3 times since I've been out, so that's an upgrade on yesterday's 300 times. So, right, well, I will throw this image up, and I'm not going to record any more vlogs today. I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of time with the camera, time out having coffee, whatever. These little vlogs are just little snippets rather than vlogging all day type of thing. So, but yeah, I get the feeling that this sort of scene is actually going to be my favourite, albeit the light's not going to be much cop. But right, guys, I'll throw this image up and we'll catch up tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.